Hey, what's up? It's your girl Petraa representing for Highway 62 Africa. And we are back. So if you guys tuned in for that brief second there, we had a bit of technical difficulties, but we are back now. So I'm here joined with my wonderful co-hosts, TYB and Ron Malinga. How are you guys doing?
Well, Ron, you want to go first? So
go ahead, Ron.
Age before beauty, man. I'd say that for me personally, as I was saying when we were off the air to Petra, that we have probably the windiest and wettest day in February so far. About one of the few days, I think only about the second day where we've been above 0 degrees here in British Columbia. My part of British Columbia, anyways. So it's a little different day today. However, doesn't matter. I'm inside enjoying the lovely company of two other people on the program today. And we are having another guest. And hey, TYB, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, but we were snowed in a couple of weeks ago. Did I say a couple of weeks? No, a couple of days ago. And now we are waiting for another one, a bigger one today. My understanding is going to be 30 centimeters. So we are waiting for it, but I know a lot of people have been complaining about their backs because they were shoveling snow left, right, and center. So apart from that, everything is cool. I'm glad I'm alive. I'm glad. I'm so happy that we are back at it again. 7 days went so fast, so we are here. That's it. I'm good.
Yeah,
Petraa, awesome. You haven't told us about yours too. Yours.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Okay, you don't know about me. I'm doing fantastic. Honestly, it's a wonderful, wonderful day. Saturday, I just came from the gym, so definitely want to shout out my gym, the Clinch Academy, so I do my Muay Thai there. So shout out to everybody that attended the strength and conditioning today with the Muay Thai class. So that was really, really great. And had a great week, we're snowed in on Thursday. Schools were canceled. So yay, thanks from all the parents. But so we have some more snow on its way. But hopefully it's not going to be as bad as they say it's going to be. And I'm really happy that the city's pulling together to prepare the roads for us, making sure everything's good so that everything can go back up and running again after the storm has passed. So, yeah, we stay focused and positive on that,
Wow. I don't know. Jan was on the program Caribbean Flavor, and she was talking to this gentleman who owns a company called Soca Islands. Yeah. He organizes parties and stuff like that for visitors to the carnivals in the islands. And he was talking about how great the weather is right now as they were speaking. I was angry because here I am waiting for the snow to sort of drop down. And you know what? It's not a pleasant time right now. Now it started. The snow has just started. So, well, we see how it goes. Petraa, I can see you are wearing a new some sweater with some something on it. What is it?
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I'm representing for the Fearless brand. This is the Fearless Crown clothing brand, established 2018. You know what I mean? So
tell us a little bit about it. That's awesome. That's nice.
Fearless, gotta make sure you're representing the winter time. So this is Fearless Crown clothing. It's a part of. Had to clear my throat for this one. For sure. This is a part of my brand, Fearless Crown clothing. So it's pretty much just a message just to stay strong in the face of adversity and know who you are, and know that like there's nothing that you can't overcome, you just take that, harness that inner strength and remember that you're royalty, you can reign above anything, any issue, there's always a solution to every problem. Inspired by my son Kingsley, hence the crown, represent all those fearless kings and queens out there.
Is this your company then, Petraa? And how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, for sure. So this is my company as well. I do want to shout out David as well. So he's also the marketing director as well. So he's doing some really amazing work out there in Vancouver, actually. So look out for David. So yeah, you can check us out on Instagram at Fearless Crown Clothing. So Fearless Crown Clothing, and also on our website as well, fearlesscrownclothing.com.
And can I ask, a Canadian company, yes?
Yes, a Canadian company / English / UK company as well.
I know why he's asking that.
Oh, why is that? Why?
Well, no, it's Canada Flag Day today.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
There's another very political reason too, but
Where's your flag, Ron? You got to be waving that flag.
Gee, it's right in the background. Can't you see it? It's behind my backdrop.
Yeah, it's lovely.
That's right. That's right.
Talk about Canadian Flag Day, Ron, for all those listeners out there internationally, and even those in Canada.
Actually, yeah, today is the 60th anniversary or birthday for the Canadian flag, which came into effect in 1965 on February 15th. It is the day where a new flag for Canada, a flag that didn't have anything on it that represented the UK, so it was a unique flag. So it's one that came under some controversy to start with. I was listening to about this because many people who fought in World War I and II and the likes were saying, this isn't the flag we fought under. And so there was I heard a thing on the radio just this morning, and they were talking about them showing and saying that we're going to move to a different flag. And when it was first presented, it was booed by many people. Just because it was not what they were used to all the years prior to. So here in Canada, it is, the flag's been around for 60 years. And so it's not been around ever since we became established in the country in 1867 as a country. However, now it's just the norm for what we present when we are anywhere in the world as to, this is Canada. I'll say, for the most part, a very recognized flag as being one where people know us as being really helpers of the world, rather than those who are, I shouldn't say takers, but just we have a good. I'm proud of being a Canadian because of the things that we have done. So, long explanation to a short question.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Thoughts, TYB?
Yeah, Petraa, Ron has put his teaching skills to.
I like that.
That's right. You know what? What is so intriguing is that a lot of Canadians, my understanding, I saw on TV 2 young Canadians who have come up with an app. They go to the grocery stores and they scan and they see which of the products are Canadian, and they're doing it. A lot of people.
Oh wow!
They've signed it, and then there are others too who go into the grocery stores, and they have stickers, and then they will just put that made in Canada, and then the nationalism is I mean, President Trump has awoken a sleeping giant. A sleeping bear, a bear of the north. So I think it augurs well for Canadians, because we didn't understand what being a Canadian is all about until that little thing came up, and then we can cause a lot of damage to our brothers and sisters down south. We can do that. So I mean, sanity should prevail in terms of this thing that is going on. We can cause a lot of damage, but to take over Canada is never going to happen. So you know what? Canadians are resilient, and after having fought with our brothers and sisters in the United States for all these years, and this is not a time to betray us. And those who have lost their lives in wars that they never thought they were going to go into, Afghanistan and the others, well, we support it, but then what do we get in the return? That's why Canadians are very angry about what is actually going on. And then we are not going to give up. President Trump can levy whatever tariffs that he wants to and we'll strike back. Because I mean, there's an African proverb that says, if two elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. A lot of young people, a lot of people are going to suffer because sanity didn't prevail. The strong thought, they can swallow the young ones, but hey, virus kills people, and people are bigger than viruses. We don't see some viruses, but they can do so many harm to us. So, I mean, in terms of the music industry and all those kind of stuff, well, who's the fraternity will be together, but we have to fight back and say, no, it's wrong to do that. That's how I feel about this country, Canada, the country that I love so much, that we don't have to take, any Canadian listening to me out there shouldn't take this country for granted, because we've got lots of great things. If people are overlooking it, well, it's up to them.
Yeah. The app, one of them is called Shop Canada.
Yes.
And I think the other one is called Beaver Shop, I believe.
Something like that, yes.
Something like that. And also, many Canadians are canceling trips. Many. I've heard that it's up to anywhere between 10 and 50% of Canadians have canceled their trips and vacations south, are looking elsewhere within the country or anywhere else in the world. We're also, apparently, I even heard somebody on the news last night say they're selling their house in California that they own there because they're Canadians, and they're selling their house there in California and moving back up to Canada full time. They don't want anything to do with this. So it's yes, we are not the biggest country in terms of population. We're about 42 million, somewhere around there. However, yes, I agree totally with you, TYB, that you have awoken a giant, and we will fight for, in terms of whatever it takes to be who we are. And tonight there's a big hockey game between Canada and the US. Actually.
Yeah, most definitely. You both make some really, really good points, and I know this is the big issue right now. And one thing I do want to say, especially just being from England and also just being here in Canada, is just like, I do like the solidarity that I'm seeing that is coming out of the situation. I always look at the situation, I always try to look at something as being half full as opposed to being half empty. So that is one thing I like. And I like the fact that, especially for the young people, they get to witness a time where, this is going to be where this is pretty much, highlighted. The only thing I don't like is the powers that be pitting the people against each other. That's what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like TYB said, when two elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers, and we're the grass, And I just wouldn't want something that starts with the powers that be to trickle down to affect, the something bigger than who we are by a country. Like, we're part of the human race, we're all people, we all share that as a commonality. And I think all these politicians like to just pit people against each other through wars and like all of these different tariffs they want to put in place. But at the end of the day, it's us, that live regular lives, that have families, that that bear the consequences. So we have to
on that topic of Canada, I'll slightly change things a bit because this could get really political. And that is, what do you think about the Grammy nominees? One of them is Tate McRae. It's up for the Junos. And if you don't know who they are, as one comedian I worked with one time on the stage, who's a great guitar player, his daughter always used to say to him while they were watching the Junos, "Do you know who that is, Dad? Do you know who that is?" Because sometimes people don't recognize who the Canadian artists are. But Tate McRae is up for 5 Junos this year, nominees. I think Shawn Mendes is up for another 5, I believe. The Weeknd is up for 4 of them. And there's one other artist, and somebody can enlighten me who the other one that's tied with The Weeknd for 4 Juno nominations, which is on March 30th is when those awards are going to be presented. So I even asked a big host from another radio station what he thought, whether even The Weeknd was going to show up at the Junos, because he normally doesn't.
Yeah.
And then somebody told me that he performed at the Grammys. So if he performed at the Grammys, I don't know why he wouldn't show up for the Junos, but I don't know. That's just some thoughts that I've been thinking about that for the Junos.
Yeah, he's somebody that he's very, very difficult to pin down. And I love his own demeanor and everything that comes with him. And he's going to, my understanding, he's going to be changing his name back to his Ethiopian roots. So we're looking forward to so many things that is happening within our music industry. But hey, we've been looking at Canadian artists, and I'm so glad that we are jumping around. I think I don't know whether we are prophets, Ron and myself, and then a prophetess in Petraa, because ever since we started looking at Canadian artists, just look at what the tariffs has brought us. So here we are. It's not that we are not going to be inviting American artists. Yes, we will do it, but for now, we want to highlight our own Canadian artists. And then, by the way, I read somewhere on social media that Thames has bought into an MLS team. She's a part owner of an MLS team. Yes, Thames. Yes. Which is very interesting indeed. So you know what? There's a lot happening within the confines of our industry. The industry, I don't know. The industry is moving towards different kind of direction. And I think I shared with you about Spotify.
Yes.
Remember?
Tell them the story of this. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes. The CEOs of Spotify made a lot of money that if you put Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and he mentioned another person's name all together,
Rihanna,
the amount of money that they have, I mean, put together would not go even close to that of the Spotify guy. He's making money. We've been saying this over and over again. So it's high time musicians or artists around the globe sit back and say, hey, do I need to go that route? There are so many other places where you can do it, because a lot of people have been complaining, I'm on Spotify, I've been streamed 250,000 times, and how much do you get? $50? And the man makes a lot of money, sells your data, sells your music, makes ads and all those kind of stuff. Remember a couple of weeks ago, we spoke about the top 5. The guy saying that they make money. What about the rest of them? So now it's coming to light. So I've seen a lot of other, companies springing up, but people have got to be very careful not to jump anything that comes up, but because the prediction is that Spotify may not survive after this, may not survive one way or the other. Ron?
I know the post you sent me said he makes $6 billion. And that's more than Taylor Swift, Paul McCartney, Rihanna, all put together. The top 5 artists still aren't making as much as he has. So that's the top 5 artists. What about the other 5? I'll say million others that have posted on Spotify, like all of us, I'm sure. We're making literally pennies by comparison to this, and yet the CEO is making $6 billion, or has had. I don't know if that's not annually, but that's how much his net worth is $6 billion. So to me, it's like, is that fair? No, it's not. Are we going to change that? Probably not likely, other than everybody to abort. But once your music's on, how do you take it off? You really can't. He says, basically, I get the rights to these songs. You passed them to me. So any thoughts on this, Petraa? You've been kind of quiet. So
Yeah. I don't know why Petraa has been quiet.
I've been talking. I'm listening.
There you go. Well, Yeah, Ron,
Yeah.
this is it's a very good conversation that we're having, because I saw so many other companies springing up just because of the fact that Spotify is in the spotlight. But I'm not saying that people should just jump just because it's coming out to light that they have been had or one way or the other. So people should be careful. Artists should be careful. There are so many ways to catch, to kill a cat, for so to speak. So people have got to be very serious and research and then do stuff, because it beats my heart to the core and to the bone that you get people that, oh well, I'm on Spotify. But then if you come
What does
to
that
the,
mean?
yeah, it's nothing, pennies. You are working like there's an African proverb that says, the monkey works and the baboon spends the money. The monkey works and the baboon spends the money. So that's how I can put it, Petra.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. No, you make some good points, and all I can say is it's about time that people start waking up to what's going on with the industry. I think for for decades, even longer, probably. I just feel like the goal of the industry is just to keep the artists, the musicians, just their mind clouded and not focus on the business. But with the growth of other platforms, like say an Uber, for example, or Uber Eats, it's shown that these platforms, they can harness, like, you can have a platform and then you can hire independent people to work for you, but the platform gets the bulk of the revenue, which is what has been happening in the music industry way longer. But because those platforms are becoming a lot more prevalent and a lot more popular, it's now allowing people to look back and say, wow, like, this has already been happening in the music industry to musicians. But even worse, the amount of money it takes to make a song, you know, to pay for the studio time, to pay the producer, the engineer, the time it takes to rehearse, the time to write. Like, if you're a singer and you're not a songwriter, you have to hire someone that's a songwriter. If you have to pay for a vocal, so pretty much everything it takes to put into a song, then marketing the song, all of that, you don't recoup that back through Spotify. How long would it take for you to recoup back for that one song? You know what I'm saying? And that is not right. That doesn't make any sense. And the fact that people are now, light is being shown on it a lot more, and people are a lot more conscious of this occurring, yeah, he has to think about, the longevity of this, because with TikTok, with social media, people have so much more access to information. You don't even have to go into a major studio now to record a song. You can record in your house on your phone, mix, master, send it out, market it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, all those changes. Yeah, with all those changes, there's going to be a lot more changes happening in the music industry. However, we have to stay on top of things, especially with AI in the mix.
Ooh, don't go there.
Yeah, this is interesting, Petra. As you and I were talking when we were off the air, I wonder about albums today, say prior to the 90s, when we had what are called DAW, digital audio workstations, which is computer technology for writing music, like you pointed out with cell phones even. I wonder why it used to take us a year to record an album, and now we can do it in less than a month. So does that say anything about the quality of the music that's being released today? That's a question I have. Or is that more because there weren't enough studios around for everybody to be in one, and they were so expensive that if you wanted the best producer, you were going to be waiting maybe a year or two before you could even get into the studio. And now you can do it yourself. So my question is the quality of music going down because of this? Because we can release it so fast out there, and everybody's getting it thrown at them at a million miles an hour. Does that say anything about the quality of the music? I'm not sure either, because you're right. You can record it in your house. I've recorded lots of songs. I was recording a song before I even got on the air here. So the question I have is, but before, if you wanted to be really good, you're going to have to be in a really good studio to do it.
Mhm.
And there were only a very limited amount of great studios with great producers, and they would only take on a certain clientele. And if you weren't already established, generally speaking, it was hard for you to get that break. But now people can do it all themselves. Does that say anything? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it also goes back to, I mean, not to digress a little bit. I think artists or musicians need a lot of education.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't get up in the morning and say, "Oh yeah, I'm going into the studio. I'm 24 hours. I'm in the studio." But the whole thing is, how do you market yourself? What are the uptrends? What is going on? What are the trends?
Exactly.
What is actually going on? It's not, you know, don't anybody tell me that every morning I'm 24 hours in the studio and all this kind of stuff. I was watching one
Thank you.
I think I sent it to you. You need who was that? I've forgotten the artist, the rapper who became he said sometimes you have to be very resilient, know exactly what you want to do, know your environment, right? When he wanted to, he was listening, he had been listening to Tupac, and every time he wanted to be famous, and he is trying to say that you need one album, one track.
Mm.
If you write one track and you become famous, that's good. He wrote a track, and he took it to a radio station. He gave it a title. The DJ said, "No, bring it back. Go and refine it, bring it back again." He went and did the same thing. The following week he came back, it was the same thing. Says, "Oh no, I'm going to give you another chance. Go and refine it and bring it." He did the same thing. The fourth time he did it, and then says, "Okay." The producer said, "Okay, I'm fed up. Okay, let's listen to what the listeners are saying." Boom, that made him who he is. So you have to be steadfast, know your environment, don't get anybody to push you, do what you have to do, learn. Because I don't think a lot of our artists right now, songwriters, are learning because things are moving so fast. Yes, we've been talking about AI, taking a chunk of what we are doing right now. We've been talking about the inconsistencies, the knowns and the unknowns moving forward. AI, right? I love Lucy. Somebody somewhere in Afghanistan or somewhere around the globe is also saying AI write the same thing. Have we sat down to think about what the implications are going to be? What AI is going to give you, the same thing the AI is going to. There's a lot of the unknown. So people should rather sit back, relax, and say that, you know what, let me educate myself as to the trends, what is going to go on tomorrow. But the lack of education is also playing a part on the part of modern day artists. I think that's my little 2 cents that I can bring to the table. Anyone can pick it up on that or
I'll say one simple statement. I wish we had more musicians recording than technicians. That's where I fear the most, because I see too many people that have absolutely zero education in music, can't even read a note, don't do anything, and then they record this album, and I kind of think, okay. But if you listen to the very best artists out there, they are all very well educated or have a lot of experience they're bringing to the room when they go into the studio. Yeah. So, and I see too many people just sitting at a laptop writing their song, and I'm kind of thinking, but do you know that there's more to it than that? Do you understand that an A minor chord can be played in several different ways? And I was doing that even today with an A minor chord. I was trying a first inversion of it. And if you know inversions at all, I thought, man, for that intro, this is perfect. But then I said, no, but then it's very similar to the first verse, and I'm going to take it out. So it's just, but if you don't understand that kind of stuff, you're really not helping yourself at all. It just helps. And just even learning an instrument.
Yeah.
Anyways, Petraa?
Yeah, no, for sure. You make some really, really good points, and I totally agree with you about music. Like music needs time to mature. It's not something that I feel like that is an issue. I totally agree with the industry nowadays, and I feel like a lot of the young people, they don't grasp that concept. I mean, I always use this as an example, but like Black Uhuru, taking over a decade to record that album, but they were the first reggae group to get a Grammy. When I listen to songs from Motown, when I look at old documentaries of how like when Bob Marley recorded his album, like it took them like years, to create these masterpieces that we still play to this day, and that's the sad thing about it, like those artists took a long time to craft their music, but they'll be played for eons. They'll forever be played and considered legend. But there's a lot of artists that make music nowadays that they're going to be forgotten about, artists that we don't know about. So it makes me beg the question to ask, like, why is it that prior to did we value music? Was it because like these masterpieces, they took so long and they were very like scarce, they were rare, versus it's so easy to make a song now. You don't have to go through the hardship that you used to go through to make a song. So it's like the value isn't there with the music. We don't value the artists. We don't value the music how we used to because of the experience, because the time, all of that stuff is necessary. Artist development is necessary, So by taking that out of the music, by taking that out of the experience, you have a watered down experience. And that's why we have the industry that we have today.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it for money and fame, you're really in the business for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
Music, man, I do it because I love it. I don't do it because of the money. I don't do it because I want to be famous. I'd rather be infamous and still be creating, stuff that I love and playing stuff that I love. TYB.
Yeah, I think somewhere down the line, what we may have to do at some point in time is to come up with a topic and bring an expert on psychology of music or mental health as it relates to the industry. Yes, psychology of music and mental health as it relates to the industry. But then you know what? I think we are all discussing this, but this is very serious. Ron, you made a point. Is it the quality of the music that and Petraa also made it. Like back then, they took their time to record, to write. They took their time to record, and then let's go back to when it was the 45s, right? The small ones, the 45s.
I know they are.
The 45s, and they did it, right? They took their time, even though it was 45. They took maybe 2 years, 3 years to come up with that 45 recording, to come and record. But today, just go ting, 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 damn, and then it's right there. You're doing it. And so you listen to it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and say, you know what? The lyrics, Bob Marley was a prophet, Peter Tosh, and then all these guys. The question is, have we sat down to think about how they were able to do it? There's a lot of music post-pandemic, a lot of music, because a lot of musicians were at home doing nothing. They wrote so many. I quite remember we had Conscience here, and then he said that during the pandemic, he wrote about 70 songs, 70, right? And then he will not stay there. He will continuously do that. So by the end, he would have written about 1,000 tracks or something like that. So, I mean, musicians should be able to look at so many things, the trends right now. Like I'm saying, I think we will do better to bring a psychologist and then do a complete program on mental health and artists, because it's very, very important. It's not just about, having a conversation with artists, but we have to also, as we have been doing, speak truth to power. And then, and then, maybe somebody will learn something from what we are saying, what we come here to discuss. It's not about having an artist here to have a conversation with, but we come here and then, from your experience, Ron, Petraa's experience, my experience, right? we bring something onto the table. So you know what, I think we have to look at it from that context. And you are listening to Love Be Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio. Those of you watching us live, well, there are others also listening to us online on the radio. Share the station with your friends and your friends, and then you come here every Saturday and then join with us whilst we have conversations, and then you know what, with artists and maybe among ourselves, and download our apps on Google Play and Apple Store and take us with you anywhere and everywhere you go. Petraa?
Yes, so there's definitely something I want to touch base upon with the both of you. You know, I'm not sure. I'm sure you've seen social media. Okay, we have to talk about the halftime show, Kendrick Lamar.
Mhm.
Yes, we got to talk about the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. And
Oh,
I have already with people.
like, if we're gonna touch on the Grammys, we're gonna touch on other things, we're gonna touch on that, you know. So, and honestly, there's so many things I could say about it, you know. And I've been
Me
watching a
too.
lot of influencers review the halftime show. So yeah, I'm not a big Super Bowl person because I'm not really into sports and stuff, and that's okay, you know. Like shout out
Yeah.
to everyone that is, but I am a halftime show person, you know. And I love to see the halftime shows take place, you know. So I just want to say, yeah, definitely shout out to Kendrick because this was definitely an epic Super Bowl performance. Before that, it was Rihanna because I love Riri, and honestly, her in the
Mhm.
air, pregnant,
Yeah.
like doing her thing, and I know a bunch
Yeah.
of songs, you know, like yeah, trust me. But honestly, Kendrick's performance is definitely an epic performance because there was so many subliminals that we could speak about, so many subliminals, you know. And I also love Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam, you know. The PlayStation board, you know, sponsored by Sony PlayStation, you know, and even there was some subliminals, you know, that he was throwing at Drake as well. That was in there. Which to me was kind of ironic with the stuff going on between Canada and America. Then you see the Drake and
Yeah.
Kendrick play out. So it's like what's playing out in like the political scope is also playing out in the musical scope. Like it's just so like fascinating to watch, you know. But I definitely feel like he did it for the culture, you know, he definitely represented. And shout out to the guy in the back holding the the Palestine flag as well, you know, shedding light to things that are happening around the world, you know. And there's so many more things I can say, but I definitely want both you two IB and want to jump in and just to say, you know, like your highlights.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Robert, go
I
ahead,
think
Rob.
I
Or
think
two
Tad,
or three.
yeah, Tad is in the back, you know, is almost here with us. He's here. Tad, we would like to get you on screen so that we'll be able to have this conversation. Yeah. What was the question again?
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, but
What'd you think of the halftime show?
Well, I loved it. I think I love it seriously. I loved it, and it's reminiscent of what Beyonce did in another show. There was some, I don't know whether who the producer was, but I think he I mean he was great. I love him. I really he brought something onto the stage, and you know what, we put it on, actually we put it on our platform, and it seems a lot of people liked it. You know, so yeah. Tats, Tats, are you ready to rock and roll?
Definitely.
That's righty.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here is Tats.
Very nice to meet you guys. Thank you for having
Nice
me.
to meet you. Petraa?
I heard everything you guys have been saying. Very well spoken. I definitely approve of mental health in artists to be looked at more and well invested, because as an artist, people never really understand what you go through on a day-to-day, you know? So investing in mental health and making sure everyone's well-being mentally is good is definitely a way to look forward to.
Awesome.
Most definitely. And it's a pleasure to actually have you on the show.
Thank you,
Most definitely. So just for all of our listeners out there that haven't heard of you before, the first time hearing you, just definitely give them a shout, let them know who Taz is,
Okay.
and yeah.
My name is Taz. I go by Taz artistically. I'm from Nigeria. I stay in Canada. I have a project coming out this year. Paint the Power's out right now. You can listen to that. My music is definitely worldwide. I definitely have a lot of influences that I put together from the Afro scene, from the swing scene, from the UK scene, from the grime and all that. So I definitely think I represent music highly.
That's awesome. Yeah, and Taz, can you also tell us like a little bit about your journey? Can you just share with us like how you got into the music?
It was meant to be something I did therapeutically, but I definitely loved expressing myself through music. It was definitely my calling, I would say. So from back home, I was definitely into playing instruments a lot. I started producing and learning about sound engineering when I came to university. And then I really went off from writing for people to writing for myself to performing and writing and then putting my music out there.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can you tell us about yourself in terms of what kind of music you do? I know I've read Dancehall, so tell us what you think or what it is you're doing.
So
Yeah.
I definitely try not to be too in one space. I feel like music is something that should affect your mood when you're happy, when you're sad. So my music definitely caters to all those needs. I make music that's up tempo. I make music for calm R&B. I have definitely a lot of Afro swing songs that is incorporating the Western sound with the Afro side of it, the fusion of that, and I do a lot of rap.
Yeah. And so would you call yourself then? What would you, if you were to do Canadian dancehall, or what would you call yourself, or what, Canadian rap?
I would definitely say worldwide artist. I don't really get, but I do speak Canada right now. But I think my music is definitely for the world, not for a box,
Yeah, I understand that. And can you just tell us about some of your influences? Who are they?
I think my top influences are definitely out now is probably Burna Boy, J Hus, and Popcat. But in general, I love 50 Cent. I love listening to Lauryn Hill. I love Celine. I love Michael Jackson. Like all these people played a big role on me when I was growing up.
GYB?
Yeah, Taz, it's nice to have you here. And I've listened to a couple of your music, and like you said, you have so many different influences and stuff like that. But then, how do you tag yourself as a dancehall artist, or you say world music, right?
Yeah.
Okay, having said that, I like what I hear from you. When did this all start?
It probably started about 6 years ago. I started first going into therapy for that, starting arts, different types of arts, not just music, acting too. But music definitely drew me closer to what I felt was a passion. And I took that from cultivating other people, helping with writing songs for other artists that are now well established, to actually honing my own craft for myself. And I like that form of expression more. People loved it too, so I definitely kept that going.
Yeah, and then when you came, you were in the you were in the background, and then you were listening to our conversation, and then we were talking about mental health in the industry. Why? I mean, you tend to agree with us. Why do you think so?
I definitely agree because as a human being, I believe that, when our bodies break, they can easily be healed. But the mind is something that when it snaps, it's very difficult to fix back. So it's always been the part of the body that should be most protected, to me at least. So I definitely agree with you in terms of people understanding that mentally health is wealth.
Yeah, I understand. And I, I can identify with that because a family member has gone through that. He's a musician, and you know what? Taking care of oneself is more important than meets the eye, because this industry is not as easy like a lot of people think it is. It is a very competitive, very serious, very. It can have a toll on one's thing. Because if you make a hit and it doesn't, if you think that, oh, this track is going to make a, to be a hit and it doesn't, sometimes it may affect you, and then one way or the other. So I
You're
think
confident. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. Petra.
Right. I think it's always good as an artist to also know that your support system always matters first,
Mm-hmm.
and trusting yourself as an artist, knowing your craft, not being able to easily be swayed by the opinions of people. Very, very key things, and just doing your craft and excelling in that.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Petra.
Awesome. So I wanted to ask you, so how did you come up with the name Tads, and like does it have like a special meaning?
Okay, I think it was
Petra, you took my question. You took my question. Jeez,
Trust me, I heard
always.
you, IB. I heard you.
so
Go
for me
ahead.
personally, I just really liked Greek alphabet. I was very into learning about Greek mythology, and I just liked the V that was like the upside down A, and I kept that to just keep it as Tats. So it's TVDZ, but it's pronounced TADZ. Tats.
Ah.
Hmm. Okay, awesome. I love that.
Yeah, no, I like
Yeah.
it.
Okay, perfect. So I have another question. I wanted to ask you, um, with your music, you have a multitude of different genres, and you cover a lot of different topics. I wanted to ask you, like, what emotions and messages do you convey through your music that you want to connect with your audience? Like, how do you,
Okay. I think for me, music is definitely an escape. So I want to be that escape for other people where like when you press play on my song, I should have a song that you can play when you're sad or when you're at the gym or when you're happy. So I always try to tick all those boxes that I personally would need in my life and just make music for that. So if I'm sad, I make music for that mood. If I'm happy, I make music for that mood. If I'm feeling deep or feeling emotional, I make something like Pain to Power with, which is like lyrically inclined. So it resonates. It's not just always going to be dance hall music or like just boom, boom, boom. I can go deep too.
awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
My pleasure.
I'm the guy who always asks this question. I'm the guy that's been in the business for over 45 years and went to university, did all this kind of stuff for music, and I love playing it. I like to, and also love writing it. What's your writing process like? I hear a lot of people saying they get beats from somebody. They start with lyrics first. They sing the lyrics into their phone first.
Yeah.
They do anything. I mean, I generally start with and go, let's see if I can bat around with some chords here and see if they work on the piano. So how does it work for you?
I think generally for me, I'm generally a freestyler. I love to freestyle ideas and then see how that works or doesn't work. So I generally do things off the top of my head, no pen to paper, and then when I have like the structure of what I want, then I write it down or then I conjugate like the lyrics and everything to match the vibe I've set.
Mhm. So when you get a song, how do you start it? Like, do you just start it with? What about say chord progressions? Every song has to be based around chord progressions. Every genre does. So how do you do that?
For me, I like breaking the rules. Like, let's say a song starts with a normal, like, 4 kick bar. I would start it right at the beginning. Or let's say normally you wait to start the song at the 18 seconds. I would want to put the chorus right at the beginning. So I always like trying different formulas, hence why the freestyling comes in. Because I notice different things work for different people. But for me, every song needs that tweak, that finesse. So there's no one formula for it.
Mm. 2AD?
Yeah. That's a very. I mean, we're having this conversation. It's very interesting.
Right, right.
What motivates you apart from the fact that when you write music when you're sad, what what puts you out there to tell you that what, no matter what it is, I've got to keep on moving on because it is what I want to do and
Uh,
nothing else.
I think definitely I'm a very, very driven person. I have great support system. Like I said, most of the things I said to help you mentally are things I already practice. So I have the right team around me, the right people. I don't surround myself with negative energy or people that just absorb that from you. I like creative minds, people that breathe life into you. So just my day-to-day life alone is definitely motivation for like how I make music and keep wanting to go. It could be a sad day, I'll still just make a sad song. It doesn't stop.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a project that you are you're going to be bringing out. Can you tell us about the new project that you're going to be launching?
Okay. So Wavy Boy, my project Wavy Boy is definitely my first project where I made sure I put all of me into the music. Every song is a different version of myself. Every song is a different genre. Every song is a different style of music that I love to make. And I made sure I left nothing on the table and just put it out there. So I'm definitely looking forward to hearing what you guys like, what's the best, what you think is great, in the middle of the day.
Yeah, and when are you going to bring it out for your
So
audience out there?
we have Prince Power out right now, and then we have at the end of the month Automatic. So before probably April, it's gonna keep coming out. The rollout's gonna keep going through the full projects out, and then
Well,
it's something.
your fans out there cannot
Right.
wait. They can't wait to listen to you. You know
I'm
what?
with too. I'm very eager. I'm
Yeah,
very eager.
it's a Canadian thing. So you know what? Buy Canadian, listen Canadian, do everything Canadian. It's a Canadian thing. So you know
I
what?
got
We are
you.
here. We are here to support, no
Thank
matter
you
what
very
it
much.
takes.
I appreciate it.
We are here to support
I
24/7.
appreciate your
You
support
know what?
very much.
You know,
Thank you very much, my friend.
see,
I'm grateful.
the one thing with this radio station is that like if it's clean, we'll play it
Yeah.
because you know. But then trust us, 24/7. We'll do what we have to do to push you
I really
out there.
appreciate it.
You know
I
what?
appreciate you giving me the platform for even playing my music, sharing it. I'm very, very grateful for this
My
opportunity.
next question is: how do you see Taz in the next 5 years? I know Petra was waiting to ask that question, but
That's okay. You can have it, TYB. We family, we share.
I definitely see myself getting to a point of what I would call gratitude and would it be satisfaction. I want my music to be at a point where I haven't even gotten to the places it's gotten. So I definitely see myself getting to a worldwide stage where people would definitely appreciate the work I put in and love it. Love
yeah, Ron,
it.
Petra, I took you the wind out of you, but all the same, I know you have tons of questions there.
Oh, you know me, TYB. You know I got some on my sleeve.
That's
Stay ready. Stay ready.
right. All righty.
Yeah. So, Tads, I wanted to ask you because before you came on, we're actually talking about some of the things that have been really impacting our culture at the moment. So, I'm not sure if you had a chance to check out the halftime show with
Oh
Ken.
yeah,
You
I've
know?
seen that. I've seen
Yeah.
that.
Okay. So, I'd definitely love to get your take on your view of the halftime show and your impact on the culture of music and hip hop.
So I definitely think the culture is moved by a lot of interesting factors, but I don't engage in politics. Even watch football like that, only soccer and basketball. So I'm not really tuning into the halftime, but I definitely know what that was about. But Canadians always support Drake.
What a diplomat, eh?
Like, okay, yeah, they said I'm allowed to answer that question. That's okay. It's okay. But I have another question on my sleeve. And
Amazing.
another topic that we like to touch on as well is I want to ask your opinion. You know, there's a lot of advance happening technologically, you know, in society, especially with AI, you know. And I wanted to ask you like what your viewpoint is on that. And how do you think do you think AI has a positive or will have a positive impact on the music industry or negative or in
I think
between? Whichever you take on that,
um,
the influence of AI.
personally, everything always has a positive and a negative. But for musically, I don't really see the positives of AI, mainly because you're taking like artistry comes from a person. So I don't see any way a computer can help you with artistically
Amen.
expressing.
Amen.
Yeah. I think maybe production wise, AI can help in like cleaning the records better or getting into sound more studio ready. But in terms of actually helping the art, I don't think AI can do better than what a human is doing.
Amen.
Mhm.
Amen.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you because we have this discussion all the time, don't we, fellas? You know, and I always say the same thing. I feel like how can something like a robot or like AI, you know, sharing the human experience. Music is a
Yeah,
human experience, you
yeah,
know? So, like, yeah, it's not something that even replicated, it
yeah.
wouldn't
I
give
think if
the
we're talking
same
about flights or
feeling.
something,
Hmm?
sorry, I think if we're talking about flights or maybe transportation, I agree. But musically, I don't think AI can help with that expression of what music is to people.
Yeah, most definitely. I totally agree. Yeah. Ron?
I have a very well known artist I know who I was speaking briefly to last night,
Mm.
and he liked a comment I said, which was, I want my lyrics to be ones that my grandchildren, I'll be able to share with my grandchildren when I get to be older. How do you feel about your lyrics that way?
I definitely don't see it that way, mainly because if I'm in a bad mood, the things I may say, I don't want my grandchildren to be saying those things. But I feel like I said, music, even rock music, that's just like EDM or high tempo. Everyone has a space for how they feel, and they should have a space to express that. So I definitely think the clean songs I will share with my grandchildren, but not all. Some are not meant for them to hear, you know?
That's why I ask. Yes.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And what do you think about your energy on stage? What's it like? Is it a DJ behind you? Is it a live band? What do you do with the group when you're standing on stage?
I've been trying practicing with a live band. I think I definitely like that more, but I'm more
right.
energetic, so it depends on the song or what the set list is. Maybe the first set we probably do like the first four just DJs and energy, and then we can switch it to a live band. You know,
Mhm.
I like
So do you have a live band then?
yeah, we have live bands here in Canada.
Well, I know that. I'm from Canada. But I mean,
Oh,
do you
you mean
have,
I have a live band here in
yeah,
Canada?
no, okay, that's it. Okay, yes. All right. So I was just curious. Okay. So are they like Studio Pro guys or who are they?
Yeah, they are Studio Pro guys. Most of them actually help also in production. So most of the songs I make, the additional instruments are always played by the people on my live band.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
I
always
just
in sync.
I ask about this because, as you well know, as we all know, that you're not going to make much money off social media
Yeah,
with your songs, and being on stage is certainly going to provide a better income than whatever
most definitely.
social media is out there. So that's why I ask, is
Yeah.
because I'm curious if you do live shows. Are you doing them beyond the borders of your province or outside Canada? Where are you going? What are you doing? What are the
Yeah,
intentions?
right now mainly just within, but outside is probably around summer. I should be going to New York and then for a couple.
Mhm. Just New York, you say?
No, in the UK.
Oh, in the UK. Okay.
UK
Do I?
massive in the house. Make sure you stop by Leeds.
Definitely is family.
TYB?
Yeah. I mean, I'm so happy we're having this conversation and that I understand you injured yourself. Are you all right?
Oh yeah. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, you are in our prayers, and you know what? This is your radio station. Who
Thank you.
blast your music anytime, every time to support. See, listen, Canada, buy Canada, and then you know what? It is
Thank
what it
you.
is. It is what it is. Because at the end of the day, this platform is for artists out there. Myself, Petra, Ron, we are all artists. We are all musicians. So that's why we
So
always want to highlight. This radio station was created just for that, right? So, I mean, as Canadians, hey, that's what we can do. We are very diplomatic. But before we go, what can you tell your fans, and how can they reach out and then go and buy the album?
so it's gonna be out on every streaming platform. Right now, Pain to Power is the only single off the project out, but I definitely am looking forward to having this interview again when the whole project's out, so you can hear the reviews because I know the reviews will be amazing.
Yeah, and your social media handles and
My Instagram is TVDZ official, and then that's mainly what I'm on if you want to contact me.
awesome, Petra.
Most definitely. So that's been fantastic. It's been a wonderful show.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. And
You too.
wherever you are, is there a lot of snow where you are? Are you getting hit by the snow like the rest of us?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like 40 inches of snow this high. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you keep a shovel handy and you just, stay indoors. And Yeah, like TYD said, this is definitely your radio station. So we look forward to having you back and getting an update. And also, yeah, when the music drops, like we're gonna be having your rotation here at Love
So
Bay.
much. Thank you so much. I
Love.
appreciate you guys. Thank you for making this place home. I'll definitely be back for the reviews, and
You got to come.
I definitely will. I got you for sure. I promise.
This is not a threat. This is not a threat. It's a promise, right?
That's a promise. It's a promise. It's a promise.
for
Thank you for
sure.
hosting me so much.
It's
Okay.
been a pleasure. So, any final words, Ron?
No, I just want to say special hospital patients, shut-ins, and those who are stuck at home today. Thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure being with you today. And we'll see you next week when we come back and with probably another guest. And so take care, everyone.
Thank you very much.
TYB.
All right, thank
Okay.
you. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And you know what? Take care of yourselves and each other. Those of us in Toronto, you know what? 30 centimeters of snow is not small, because I know a lot of people have been complaining of backaches, and chiropractors are going to be making a lot of money. But hey, all the same, take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you in 7 days. Bye-bye.
Bye, Love Bay family.
Bye-bye.